Once, Elissa dreamed of a vast world, full of light, fame, and recognition. The small town where she grew up felt like a cage, and James's love, too quiet a song for her restless heart. One day, she chose her dream and left, leaving behind the only person who had ever loved her unconditionally. Hi there. Thanks for listening to us. We'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to our channel and gave this video a like. Share your thoughts about the story in the comments, and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to know. Thank you. Elissa and James, the melody of fate. Elissa always knew this town was merely the backdrop to her first act. Its narrow, winding streets, the weary old houses that seemed to breathe with centuries of quiet sorrow, and the eternal drizzle mixed with the bitter scent of gasoline. It all felt too small for her vast ambitions. Her eyes, deep as the midnight sky, didn't just look at the world. They saw the one she was destined to create. In a childhood filled with chaos and misunderstanding, only one person saw through the masks she so carefully crafted: James. He was her silent harbor, her unspoken promise of safety, the only one who loved her for who she truly was. James loved her with that pure, aching love that exists only in childhood, the kind that lingers for a lifetime. He loved her without hope, without the right to even confess it, because he somehow knew. One word, one wrong move, and their fragile, precious world of shared silence and understanding would shatter. He was her shadow during the nights of shouting at home, when her mother wept and her father vanished into the mist of the evening. He listened to her fiery speeches about the future, and in his eyes shone a quiet, devoted admiration. When they turned 16, his love, too vast for his young heart, demanded release. That evening, beneath their tree, the great old oak that had witnessed all their childhood secrets and wildest dreams, James found the courage to speak. "Ellie, we need to talk," he said, his voice low and rough. "Did something happen, James?" Her dark eyes, usually unreadable, flickered with worry. He drew a breath. "You'll probably never forgive me for saying this, but I can't live in silence anymore. I love you, Elissa." The words pierced her like shards of ice. Her heart clenched painfully, breath catching in her throat. She felt it too, knew it, but her lips were already shaping the lie that would save her dreams. "But, no," he interrupted, his amber eyes blazing with desperate, innocent passion. "I can't breathe without you, Ellie. I'd follow you anywhere, to the ends of the earth if I had to." It wasn't fair. His words echoed her own hidden feelings, that same forbidden fire that burned in her. She loved him too, loved him to madness, to trembling knees, but in her mind, another melody had long been playing, a symphony of fame and success. She knew, if she stayed, this love, sweet and suffocating, would destroy everything she was meant to become. "James, I can't. I'm sorry. I have to go." She turned and ran, left him standing there beneath their tree, leaving not only him but a part of her own soul behind. That night she didn't sleep. Dreams tore her apart. Dreams of love, ambition, and a destiny that demanded sacrifice. By dawn, with tear-swollen eyes and a heart turned to ice, she packed a small, battered suitcase and fled to Los Angeles, toward her fate. 7 years later, Elissa shone. She wasn't just a star. She was the center of gravity itself, the one every light and every gaze revolved around. Los Angeles was her personal stage. Every movement was deliberate, every line rehearsed, every laugh perfectly timed. Fame, wealth, admiration. She had it all. She was radiant, untouchable, free. She didn't think about James anymore, or so she told herself. The after-party following her Actress of the Year award was the pinnacle of her triumph. Dressed like a goddess sculpted from starlight, she was surrounded by applause and champagne smiles. Then her producer, glowing with pride, approached her. "Elissa, meet James Crawford, CEO of Crawford Corporation. He's financing your next project." "Oh, how lovely," she said, turning to offer her flawless Hollywood smile, and froze. It was him. No longer the boy from her memories, but a man. Magnetic, powerful, impossibly self-assured. Success clung to him like an aura. Only his eyes betrayed the past, those same warm amber eyes that once saw her completely. "Congratulations on your award, Elissa," he said softly. Her name on his lips sounded like a forgotten melody. She smiled, cold, perfect, professional. But inside, her heart was thrashing like a trapped bird. He was here in her carefully constructed reality, and her past had come to life again. Their conversation was polite, painfully restrained, but every pause between them pulsed with unspoken emotion. Thanks to years of acting, she hid the storm inside, though it hurt almost physically to do so. Who would have thought she could still love him with the same reckless intensity? And him, had he truly forgotten? That night, lying in her luxurious yet lonely apartment overlooking LA, she couldn't sleep. Thoughts of James consumed her. Would he have become this man if she'd stayed? Would she be who she was now? Did he ever move on? Find someone, have children? The last thought stabbed like a knife. 3 days later, she was supposed to leave for a shoot in Paris. But the next morning, unable to bear the torment, she decided to end it once and for all. She would go back home, to face the ghost of her past and bury it properly. The return. The town hadn't changed much. Her childhood home was now a ruin, eaten by time and neglect. The sight tore something in her chest. Nearby, the Crawfords' house stood neat and well-kept. Of course, James probably visited often. She turned away, too afraid of rejection, and walked the familiar path to their tree. And there he was, standing under its sprawling branches, the same oak that had once heard their laughter. Her breath caught. She wanted to run, to disappear. But before she could move, he turned, as if sensing her. "Ellie, is that you?" His voice trembled, filled with a tenderness that broke her composure. "Maybe," she whispered. "I'm not even sure why I came. Did you get my letter? I said I'd be waiting here for 3 days. Letter?" She blinked. "No, I never got any letter. I gave it to your producer that night at the party. I prayed you'd come, that you'd give me one more chance." "He never gave it to me," she said softly, and just like that, a spark of hope flickered to life. "But I wanted to see you too. I came to apologize." "There's nothing to apologize for," he said, stepping closer. "We were just kids. I had nothing to offer you back then. Even now, I can't quite explain how I became who I am. My uncle left me a dying company. I turned it around." "And what kept you going?" she asked quietly. "You. It was always you, Elissa." Her cheeks flushed, and for a moment she was 16 again, standing beneath these same branches. "After all these years," he continued, "I still love you. I'd finance every film you ever make. Stand behind you through everything. Just don't turn me away again. Let me be your friend, at least." She shook her head, tears glimmering in her eyes. "But I don't want to be your friend, James." "Then what do you want?" he asked, voice trembling with hope. She smiled, the first real, unguarded smile in 7 long years. "I want to be your wife, James Crawford." For a moment he stood frozen. Then he rushed forward, swept her into his arms, and spun her beneath their tree in wild, laughing disbelief. "Do you love me?" he cried out. "Say it. Say you love me." "Yes, yes, James. More than anyone in the world," she shouted back, her voice raw with joy. Their laughter melted into a kiss, fierce, endless, healing. The years apart, the pain, the distance, all dissolved into that single perfect moment. 1 year later, under their tree, they were married. Elissa didn't leave Hollywood. She simply chose her roles carefully, starring only in films that truly mattered. James was always there at her premieres, not as her benefactor, but as her proud husband. And so, after all the storms and silences, after fame and heartbreak, they found their greatest victory of all. They were simply, finally happy. Thank you for listening to our story.